Welcome to Emerald Lake. It's me, Raven. We're settling in. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, what the heck? Okay, that's not fair. What the heck's going on? Show of hands, who got an ad when they popped in? Because I tried to run an ad, and I do that before I start, so that there's no ads interrupting us later. Yeah, you got one. It's saying that there's another ad in 2 minutes. And I specifically tried out doing the longer ad, and it's not letting me hit one of the run an ad things. So it's clearly like these motherfuckers. They think they can make you watch more ads. This is no fair. This is no fair. How rude. Well, I was gonna get ready and start. Now I'm mad that they're gonna try to add. Anyway, hi. Oh, what the heck? I had everything lined up. And I guess OBS decided it would be weird too. Why is everything being so weird today? I don't like this. Okay, well, hi. I'm going to quickly write down stuffs. Yeah, it says it's going to run an ad in a few seconds. I'm not going to snooze it. I'm curious because I ran the long ad. Maybe I ran it before the shorter ad was supposed. I don't know. Why? Normally when I run one of these longer ads intentionally, it means that I get longer time without an ad. So I'm getting angry. This is rude. But it's going to automatically run it. That's what it I can't even do the run a different length of an ad option. I can't click any of them. It's being mean. Why is it being mean? Anyway. Okay, so we're going to have an ad. It's going to have to do its thing. I don't get to choose. And it's going to come in any minute, any second now. So the ad will be here any second. But once it's done, we'll be reading stories. Ugh. What the heck? I'm angry at you, Twitch. Rude. Rude. I don't like it. It's very mean. But okay. Let's make sure everything's tidied up and ready to go then, I guess. That's all I can do. I got the now reading up. I can type out the name of the first story. There we go. Okay. The ad still hasn't started. It's taken its time to actually do its thing. But, okay. Oh, there we go. Now it's running. Ugh. And it's only a little short one because it's one of the auto ones. Because the way that they've got it set up is that there's the most frequent way that the ads will run is a 30-second ad every hour or something. But I try to do the 1-minute ads at the top, and then we don't have to deal with anything for 2 hours. Yeah, so now that's saying what it did. But I ran a 2-minute ad, as far as I knew, at the start. I could have swore. So you're supposed to buy me a bunch more time, you little... I'm very annoyed. Why is this not working? I was certain I hit the little ad button. And you do this to me? And I can't even click any of the other ones? I want to scream at you, Twitch. It says you recently ran an ad, so you'll have to wait to run another. Okay. Ads in my side finally end. Yes, it just did. Why is it like this? I'm so mad. This is very unfair, Twitch. You're being a meanie. I don't like it. It's very, very rude. But okay, everybody should be back from it. So, hello. Welcome in. Oh, goodness. My plan today, this stream, we're finishing up the Antimemetics Saga. So, we have Tombstone and then Champions of Nothing. Just 2 stories left. Oh boy. Get that out of there. Okay. Just the 2 stories left. But one of them is supposedly a bit of an epilogue. So we are wrapping this up. This is it. I haven't scrolled through how long these are. Yeah, that one's pretty long. How bad's this one? Oh, shush. Let me see your little scrolly bar. It's being very slow to load. But, oh yeah, there's one. So we'll probably read another one after this. But we're also probably going to decompress a little bit with the stories. You're not late, Frigid. You're perfectly fine. I don't keep attendance. And with the ads being... Let's just be real. The ads are being an asshole. With that happening, we'll have to take an ad break sooner than I want to. And we'll see how that worked that time. Yes, I saw. Yes, he's late. Late again. Frigid's late. Tell a friend. You're a mini M&M. I get you. I get you. But my brain is trying to hold on to, and I lost it. Never mind. Okay. Yes, it's cute. You always do in your little entry saying that you're late. You like to play with it a bunch, and I appreciate it. The creativity, we appreciate. Yes. Oh, darn. That's a very sad riz, Fridge. Oof. Oof. Yike. I hope your other numbers are better. I hope they go better. But, okay. It went over. It's supposed to be 202. Wow, that's a lot over. I can't. I'm mad. It'll hydrate, and then I guess we read. Well, that is not a 19. Violetta, you have made it to the stream. You have. I like the wibble on that. Woo, 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 woo. See, the Rizzler's always right. You're 87% Riz. What made you right? Because you're most Riz so far? Is that what makes you correct? I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna... Oh, that's a cute little pause clap. Okay. I'm going to start reading then. And be annoyed with the ads when they come up again later. But based on how this goes, I will probably only get through the first story and then need that ad again because it's a little asshole. We will have the break then for the stories, for the triggers. And this one's going to be a while, so feel free to drop in your redeems sooner and I will get to them then. But do know I'm going to be really intense on this one. I'm going to be focused. This is going to be a lot cuz this is it. We're wrapping up the story. I'm nervous. And I want Dew or Noriakia or anybody that really knows the SCP entries better to be here in case of panic, because when it's these longer ones, it's like they're more likely to get twisty and referencing different stuff that I don't know. But also, because it's the saga, I'm like, what does this mean? What did I miss? What am I forgetting? Intense. I've got a little joke about that. Want to hear? Is it when you're in a tent? Because otherwise, no. I'm here for the pun right now. I've been listening to this for 12 minutes and I still haven't put on headphones. Do you normally? Not everybody does that. You know what? Hold on. I'm gonna mute. I'll go freaking grab a cookie. I want a snack real quick. I just want a cookie. Okay. So I'm going to do that while we give it a couple seconds. I must have already heard it. You cry. Yes, I have heard of it in a tent jokes a good deal. Yes. I don't know how lewd they always are, but yes. Okay. Oh, I still have to do a summary, right? Okay. Quick with the cookie. Okay. So, last we were at Adam Wheeler had gone through all of his efforts. I wish I could send cookies to everybody. Cookie. Okay. Adam Wheeler has gone through all the efforts. He's one of the last people, if not the last person around. He's certainly the last person, like, still functioning and not under the SCP-3125's power, because guess what? Red, the mouthpiece for SCP-3125, showed up and said, "You, how are you doing this? What are you doing? Why are you doing this?" And all of that. And so, there he was, and he quickly grabbed his gun and shot, and he got Red right in the face. But then, all of the spiders were around, all the other parts of the 3125 that was going on. And so, what are we gonna do now? We don't know how he's gotten around. We don't know how this is gonna go. Are they gonna get him? But he's gone to Site 41 and gotten as much info as he could. He found Marion's body and didn't even know. He found his wife's body. But then he got her key card and found out more info. He got himself well set up, and now he's on his plan to get to the next, which I'm guessing is Site 167. 167. Because that's where Bart Hughes was supposed to be doing stuff. And if you remember a couple of stories before, Bart Hughes turned into a germ because as they were planning for taking down SCP-3125, they needed to do these things to keep them safe from thinking about SCP-3125, because that's how they get you. And so, boom, they wear these germs from a big old giant animal, whose skull they were hiding in because it has some properties of blocking all the stuffs out. And so this weird germ is good for this. And they were wearing their germs, but things went bad. Bartholomew Hughes, the last guy that could do this. They're like, it's all up to you. We need you to help us. Hi, Cage, you lurk away. You are going to save us. And then one of them in the room had a gun, shot him. Everybody was dead. It was a big chaos. Eventually, it must have been that Marion Wheeler goes out and does the rest of her loop of things that she was working on, and her story, and how she ended up in that hall and had to set off the big meme bomb. And now, Adam eventually got to her. But the point is that there was just this tiny little thing that also said Bart Hughes was maybe in the germ and not dead. So his brain, his thought was in the germ, and therefore he could survive. But we're gonna find out. So that's where we're at. Laurent got your 19. Oops. Oh, looks like we gotta do emotes only. Hold on, I got this. Nobody else. Okay, now it's done. You wanted 1 second. There you go. Beautiful. I did it. Nobody even dropped them emotes yet. You wasted so much points, Yar. I love it. Okay. Oh. There has been my summary. Yes, dice for later. Thank you very much. And the cookies. I said I wish you could give you cookies. You say Munster cookies. Isn't that Munster cheese? I don't know what's going on. Okay. But now, worth it. You say so. I read Tombstone. This is the next story. Adam's doing what Adam's doing. He's got to deal with the spiders. And we think, maybe, probably, hopefully, that Bartholomew Hughes, the last guy that can save us, lives on in a germ that he doesn't know how to keep alive because the person that would know be gone. Okay, here we go. All memetic horror aside, Wheeler thought Site 41 seemed like a pleasant enough place to work, at least above ground. Decently spacious, if unattractive, offices, large windows, plenty of natural light, scenic forest views, safe. Site 167 is a hostile, sprawling industrial wasteland, 4 square kilometers of secure containment warehousing, research laboratories, and administrative offices. Wheeler is put in mind of a fossil fuel power plant. The buildings are grim, functional, and aggressively unattractive. There is no greenery. The ambient noise in the complex is a harsh roaring. It was built on a flat plain, and the wind races down concrete canyons and past sharp building edges. So he got away from the spiders. How did you do that? But okay, he did. And he's at Site 167. Just over half of the site, Wheeler discovers, has been erased from the face of the Earth by an orbital laser strike. Ooh. There is an edge where the intact buildings and roads abruptly end, and beyond that edge, there is nothing but blackened, level wreckage. Wheeler guesses that the laser shut down mid-reaction when the site's antimemetic warhead was triggered, but he can't be sure of the exact chain of events. It doesn't matter. It doesn't significantly harm the odds. What he's looking for is below ground. Hi, Jamaican Uncle. Wheeler is at his limit. He has traveled too far, and he has been traveling for too long. He cannot exist in SCP-3125's universe for much longer, sane. It is all still happening, and the fragile responsibility of being the only one alive who can do anything to stop it is like a steadily tightening vice around his skull. He is exhausted and slowly losing his vision to bright migraines, and dismally lonely. No more detective work, no more sights. This needs to be the end. Oof. Between buildings 8 and 22E, there is a vertical access point, a 30-meter wide hexagonal shaft with a yellow gantry crane across its mouth. The shaft was used for lowering construction machinery and materials into the extensive underground complex. The shaft is so wide and deep that it has strange effects on the movement of air near its lip. It feels to Wheeler as if it's trying to pull him down. There are metal stairs lining the inner wall of the shaft. He descends. Good luck with this. Then he follows his map. He descends and then follows his map into Site 167's underground complex. Unlike Site 41, this was certainly not a safe site. There are warning signs everywhere, many of whose symbols Wheeler cannot immediately parse. Very soon he begins to encounter heavy bulkheads, sealed with electronic locks. Marion Wheeler's security pass opens them every time. Thank God you found your wife. I want to cry. Okay. Containment Unit S167006183's airlock is identical to the one he encountered at Site 41, just as the architectural diagram suggested. Ah, welcome in, new friend. Hasib M2006, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. We have a tradition we've recently started up. Well, I guess I can stop saying recently now. But anyway, we drop a dance emote every time we've got a new friend. Some kind of dance. If you want to drop a dance and just say hi that way, we'd love it. Any dancing works. But welcome and thank you for the follow, Hasib. Okay. Well, not exactly a dance, but hello. Little face. Welcome in. You're not late, DJ. What do you mean from the ER? What happened now, DJ? You've always got something very tough that you gotta tell us about. Jeez. Most welcoming chat. What the heck? What's wrong with that? Welcome, welcome. Cut my finger. You cute your finger to the bone, but you cut your finger. Dang it. DJ, you gotta be careful. My goodness. Oh, I'm sorry you had issues. It was an accident. I would hope so. Jeez. But I hope it's all good now. And you're back from the ER. That's good. And I should make sure I say you're not late. I don't keep attendance. Just welcome and take a seat. Get cuddly. Get cozy. Okay, here we go. Marion's Pass opens it every time. Yes. Yes, I think probably a good idea to not post the ouch. We are glad that you are good now. But okay. Containment Unit S167006183's airlock, like I said, is identical to the one he encountered in Site 41, just as the architectural diagram suggested. The only difference is that this airlock is still visibly airtight. No holes. Wheeler swipes his card through the reader with a shaking hand. The door cycles open, revealing a sterile, white antechamber, stale, atmosphered after years of disuse. He stands in the middle, waiting for the second half of the cycle. This is it. His heart is pounding. It's not good for him. He doesn't have a heart condition that he knows of. But how would he know? Every living cardiologist is in hell. It's funny he says is in hell because it's, is dead or is an SCP piece. Oh, anyway, okay. He asks himself the final worrying question for the final time. But if you're here, Dr. Hughes, and you've built the machine and the machine works, why didn't you come out? He answers himself as a kind of inoculation against the bad news he knows is coming. Because the machine doesn't work, because you couldn't build it, because you're dead. The inner door cycles open, and the story breaks, and there's a star, and it picks back up. I have the answer for you, Adam, at least the one that I have in mind. It does work. It could work. I just can't do the right things because I'm a germ instead of a person. Anyway, okay, sorry. I hope so. Okay. It picks back up with, the atmosphere in the vault is tropically humid and thick enough to taste. It tastes unpleasantly organic, like lymph or some other obscure bodily fluid. Germ juice, maybe. I don't know. We don't know how that germ lived. I don't know how he's managed. Okay. There are overhead floodlights, of which perhaps 1 in 10 are still shining. There is junk everywhere. To Wheeler's left, there is a rough semicircle of monolithic auto-factory units, each 6 or more meters tall, with piles of fabricated junk around them. Furniture, tools, food containers, hard foam bricks, circuit boards, spools of fabric. To his right, stacked, stretching away along the long concave wall of the vault, are hundreds of empty shipping containers. He would have to walk for 10 minutes before he found one still containing raw materials. Hasib, well, we enjoy our frogs. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm not like frog specific. It's just that be who is here at the lake. We're at Emerald Lake and there be frogs here. But it's a story. Frogs our friend. Frogs our friend. It's true. Okay. He's looking for. Ahead of him is a 3-meter wall, 3-meter tall wall of steel which curves away to the left and right, enclosing almost all of the vault's floor space. Just visible over the top of the wall, heaving slowly under the weak yellow light, is an immense, sleeping orgasm. From here, Wheeler can only see the curve of its back, which is a glossy, moist black, mottled with green. It is round, almost spherical, like an ice cream scoop of liver taken from a human 2 kilometers tall and dumped into this enormous, Wheeler gulps as he makes the association, petri dish. Yes, it's Bart. Okay, Bart the germ. He's grown in the petri dish. He's a culture, like Silas in our other stories today was talking about. Ooh, wow, I didn't think those two would connect today. Oh, wow, okay, anyway. Wheeler does not notice the meter-thick pipes which run from the auto factories over the edge of the dish and in, providing various necessary liquids. He does spot the tall towers arranged around the organism, spraying a translucent mist down at it from all angles. Suspended from the ceiling to the left and right, roaring continually, are ventilation units as large as houses. There is tall towers around the organism. Sorry. Spraying a translucent mist at it from all angles, suspended from the ceiling to the left and right, roaring continually, are ventilation units as large as houses. There is no one around. Wheeler clears his throat and addresses the room as loudly as he dares. Is there a... Dr. Bartholomew Hughes in here? Nothing happens. The roaring of the ventilation units continues. The organism continues to heave slowly. Wheeler raises his voice somewhat. I'm looking for a machine called an... And oh, okay. There's an interruption, but it's not like it interrupts him. It's just that in the middle of it, it wakes up, and then it says, Irreality Amplifier. There we go. And now I'm going to address the little comment there. I'm pretty sure I said organism, but maybe I didn't. And even if I did, you're going to make fun of me for tripping up on words? We've all done that one. We've all had our science class and everybody giggle. Going to make fun of me? I don't think it's bread brain. I think if anything, my mouth is not making the sounds quite right. But hey, don't make fun of me, frigid. Don't do that. Okay. The thing turns. Well, but then don't go doing that. You made me panic. The thing turns, pushing huge. Well then, as I said, did you need to make fun of me? Jeez. You don't get to steal the frogs, Long. Stop trying to steal the frogs. They're your friends. You don't kidnap your friends. Jeez. Hi, Nuriakia. I'm glad when I have one of my SCP specialists here to tell me when I mess up any SCP stuff or explain the things that I'm confused on. So hi. Okay. Can he have one? No, he cannot steal the frickin' frogs. Aw, Fetster give the frogs a pet. That's nice. Crummy water, my gentleman frog. He would never. No. Never. Okay, I got focus. Okay, so it wakes up and what is 9 times? Oh, that the honk slapped Fetster. How dare you! How dare you slap him again? Okay. Reality amplifier. The thing is woken up. The thing turns, pushing huge volumes of fluid around its dish, enough that a wave of it sloshes viscously over the side of the wall. It lurches up to the wall as more of it becomes visible. It becomes clear that there is little more to its body plan than what was already visible. Stop flapping. Stop slapping Fet. You evil dudes. Fet, you know what to do. Give him a good couple of bonks. Give him a good mod bonk. If he keeps fighting Fet, maybe we'll have to emote only. You slap me? You slap me, Crummy Water? Yes, hold Fet while we bonk. Because DJ hugged. How dare you? No, Yar, you don't have to redeem any points for it. I think I'm just gonna do it. It's time for it. I did it. Take that. Bonked. Yeah. Ha. Deal with it. Little chaos. Okay. And I'm gonna keep on reading. Stop threatening my mods. Yeah, this is for them. Take that. Okay. What was we doing? Alright, there's stuff coming up over the wall of the petri dish. It lurches up to the wall. As more of it becomes visible, it becomes clear that there is little more to its body plan than what was already visible, aside from stubby flippers. It is simply a huge, near-spherical lump of biology. It seems to peer eyelessly at Wheeler, 'cause it's just a germ. Wheeler concludes that he does not wish to be here. You know what? I'ma leave. There's nowhere else to go in the world. I'ma leave. He turns to leave and is startled to discover that the airlock door has closed behind him as silently as it opened. The airlock controls are to one side. He does not run for fear of attracting attention with sudden movement, but he walks over briskly and pulls out his stolen security card again. As he's about to swipe it through the reader, a stringy red web lashes out from nowhere and restrains his wrist, preventing him from proceeding. Ooh. Wheeler struggles for a second to pull his arm free, but the webbing is gluey and has a freakish rigidity to it, as if there are bones inside it. It won't let him move. He glances back and doesn't get a good enough look at the organism's body to spot where the web originated. The organism has opened its eye now, a single eyeball tens of meters wide, which must account for a significant fraction of its body volume. It has a vivid pink iris and 4 enormous black pupils, which is exactly like how the germ worked before, but much smaller. It used to be smaller, now it's much bigger. So yeah, this is Bart. Oh my gosh, he made it. And he's figured out how to keep himself alive. Damn. But what happened to his team? Okay. Its voice isn't truly audible. It arrives in Wheeler's head like a maddening static, a mosquito's whine in stereo. And then we have in all caps and italics. So somewhere in my head, the voice is kind of like, do you have it? I don't know. Have what? No doctor, no machine. A thinner strand of webbing shoots out, attaching itself to the security pass in Wheeler's hand, plucking it delicately from his fingers. The strand withdraws and holds the pass in front of the organism's eye. Wheeler! Wheeler says. Yes, it's something of a coincidence, actually. And then he's interrupted. The strand tightens, lifting Wheeler by his arm. He twirls uselessly. Oh, now you're dancing? No? Okay, no. Barely able to see what's happening. There is a blur of luminous pink, and he is plunged, screaming, directly into the largest of Bart Hughes's 4 pupils. Ugh, into its eye? But this means, he's in there, which means that he can get around the mental stuffs, because that's how the germ work. Ooh, okay, I think we're jumping into germ story. I think so. I think we're jumping back or somewhere to how... Oh no, we're jumping to just finding Bart's story inside the germ, maybe telepathically or what. Anyway, okay. So the story breaks the star and it picks up with, the bunker was empty when he got there. His associates were missing. This is the germ's story, Bart's story. He was forced to presume them dead, and in a rare lapse of forethought he had neglected to bite off one of his human body's fingers before fleeing the scene of the shooting. With no human tissue sample to work for him, he had no way to clone himself a replacement body. He was, he realized, trapped. Wheeler had told him that to protect the cause of the Foundation, he would have to sacrifice much or all of his existence. Oh, that's Marion. And she had only been reminding him of something which he had always known intellectually. Still, he had not imagined this. And even if he had, he would never have imagined what this would be like, to experience from the inside. Several times he came close to quitting. Dysmorphia alone almost killed him. Oh, yike. Okay, but he had a duty. The problem had to be solved. Yeah, this is all just germ story, okay? He attacked it in his germ form for over a year. He developed tools for himself, computer peripherals, and writing implements adapted for his short but dexterous tendrils. He built miniature chair analogs and other furniture. He developed for himself a little life, a fitness plan, some hobbies even. He slept in baths of nutrient sludge. Before the end of the first month, he had proven to his satisfaction that the counter meme he was searching for existed beyond the comprehension of human intellect. A human being's mind would figuratively burst into flame upon contact with it. It was quite possible that their literal body would too, as a violent reaction to the profound, unalterable wrongness of every aspect of the universe around it. To create the counter meme, he would need to start from a human carrier of a suitable, end quotes, single-celled base idea and amplify that idea artificially using a machine. Okay, so he would need a human to start it, but he's glad that a human body would explode it. Okay, anyway. By the second year, he had designed and built enough of the machine to know that the machine could not be built. Theory and practice were diverging too far. Tests were failing in troubling ways, which pointed to fundamental architectural misconceptions. His machine would not and could not do what it was designed to do. He scrapped all of his schematics. He needed a different approach. And then this whole paragraph is in brackets. There is a struggling figure mounted on the back of his retina, drowning beneath yellow pinpricks of focused light, drawing oxygen from his bloodstream and firing back minuscule thoughts. The figure is losing his mind with fear and revulsion, though he is a little more resilient than he gives himself credit for, and he is adapting. "It's you," the little man manages to gurgle. "There's no amplifier. You're the amplifier." Aha! Okay, so this is that's Adam, and he's just thinking about his story, our germ, and Adam's catching up here. Back out of the quotes, or not the quotes, the brackets. Bart sequenced and then reverse engineered his own genetic code. He built life support equipment and re-architected the interior of the vault, which had always been the plan, if not to this extent. He refactored his physiology in stages over the course of years until his brain was of a size and complexity to think monumental, radical, irreducibly complex thoughts. And then in brackets, but why didn't you? The spec asks. His name is Adam. Jeez. You could have opened the vault at any time. What were you waiting for? End of brackets. Once, while exploring human eidetic space, he saw himself. He created a rudimentary mimetic descriptor of himself, refined it, focused, guessed a little, and there he was. A complex of brilliant lights in the shape of a man, amid a swarm of similar people, living and dead and real and fictional. It was fascinating and sobering to see himself in that grand context. From that elevated perspective, he was tiny. He waved. He waved back. And when he saw himself, he came to understand what he was, what his role was. He was the mad technical genius, the crazed inventor who architects the final weapon, but he was not the one to wield it. The spark, the base idea he needed to amplify, was not in his head, and was not in the vault with him. Mathematically, it never could have been. That was not the shape of things. It had to be delivered by someone else. Yes, he'll be out of jail soon. Breathe. Everybody breathe. We have brackets again. The spec stops struggling. He has looked with some effort to his left and right. He has now finally seen that there are other figures mounted here with him on the retina. Oh no. Older figures who have mostly been interpolated into the membrane and no longer have independent life or thought. This causes him no small amount of alarm. He says, "By who?" Hold still. We're out of the brackets. Hold still. And then back in brackets, the spec's brain explodes like a diagram. Story breaks in a star and it picks back up. And I don't know if that means that Adam is now definitely dead, definitely incorporated into germ. What? But I think he has been put into the germ. Sorry, Adam. Oof, but okay. Alright, rearrange. Oh my goodness, okay. There is a forest. Oh, and Fett, I'm gonna let you decide when to release the chat. I think they're still sending a bunch of emotes, considering it's emote only, but when you're ready, you can release them. There is a forest. There is a nice big house in the forest, and a garden behind the house, a trimmed lawn encircled by tall conifers. You're thinking. Okay. There is a rough circle of chairs on the lawn, and about 25 people seated or standing around or chatting in groups with drinks and burgers. And there is a queue for the barbecue. There is a tall column of smoke rising from the barbecue. It is an outstandingly beautiful day, and nothing terrible is happening at all. Adam Wheeler knows he is broken now because he can't accept the scene. It's too sudden and too pleasant to be real. He feels normal, clean, and healthy. He gasps and almost cries when he realizes that his hand is back. Someone walks up to him, offering a handshake. You must be Adam. It's a pleasure, Bart Hughes. Hughes is a very youthful 50, short and skinny, with thick-lensed, thick-rimmed glasses, and a flurry of wild graying hair. Wheeler shakes his hand, more or less automatically. In his other, he has a bottle of beer. I work at the Foundation, he says. Obviously, containment architecture, biomimetics, a whole mess of odd jobs. Hughes, Wheeler repeats. I was, looking for you. You found me, Hughes says. Good job. ... What is this? I didn't think you'd remember. This is where we met, originally, I mean. Briefly. We shared about 10 words, maximum, and I don't remember a single one of those words. And I barely remember you either, no offense. But I remember the barbecue, and I definitely remember that I met you at the barbecue. So I figured it would be a more agreeable setting for the conversation we need to have. Whew. And hey, Yar, you tried to slap me? That is rude. Ignore that bonk. It better be. Okay. Okay. Hi, Gary. Welcome. Okay. Wheeler does not recognize the scene, either the location or any of the people. He says, "This is your memory." It's like, buddy, it would be yours too. Ugh. Okay, so... It's tough. Are they gonna... Because this is his house. This is the house that Marion Wheeler talked about getting home to, and then there was just a man, which was Adam. So this is their house in the good times. But anyway, okay. Wheeler said, "This is your memory, Bart." "Yeah, come on, let's talk." Hughes leads Wheeler across the lawn and selects a pair of chairs in the sun. He sits and gestures for Wheeler to sit across from him. Wheeler does so, uneasily. Hughes rests his elbows on his knees and gathers his thoughts before he begins speaking. "Adam, you don't have the idea we're looking for, the seed for the countermeme. You're the wrong guy. You would know if you had it. It would be impossible not to know. You would feel electrified by it, driven forward by the high ideal it represented every waking moment. It's what should have brought you here. I don't know how you made it here without it." And he says, ... "I didn't know I was supposed to bring an idea with me." "There's no way you could have known," Hughes reassures him. "Nobody exterior to the vault knew. I didn't know it myself until I had already locked in. This is normal. We form these plans and something unexpected happens and the plans go out the window. And, under great pressure, we are forced to demonstrate creativity." Wheeler takes a deep breath. He squares his shoulders. "All right, where is it? I hope it's in North America. I don't want to have to go all the way back to Site 41, but I will, if you can wait that long." Hughes shakes his head. Hughes is shaking his head, sorry. "You can't do it, even if it was that simple. And there was just a place I could send you to collect it, like takeout, ... You can't carry an idea like this. You've never had that capability. You don't believe. You never had to. You're the wrong guy. ... So where does that leave us?" Hughes turns, looking meaningfully toward the barbecue itself. Wheeler follows his gaze. "There's a woman tending it, with her back to them." "Oh, okay. I'm glad you got sleepy. I take it as a very big compliment, so don't worry about it. Go ahead and eat. Take care. Sleep well. We'll hopefully see you another time." Oh, DJ tucked you in your bed. There you go. Okay. All right. Looking at the woman tending back to them, chatting with the people in line for food. She seems to be the center of attention. "Marion," Wheeler says. "She had it," Hughes says. Well, to speak accurately, there is no singular it. It's a massively diverse space of possibilities. Millions of people in the world had different ideas which could have worked, but she was one of them. "Was," Wheeler says. "Yeah, she died." Hughes turns back to face him. He hesitates, drinking some more beer while he chooses his words. He is not a medical doctor. He does not have anything which could be considered a bedside manner. Adam, he says, I've been examining your brain. There are layers and layers of damage there, and a lot of it looks deliberate. Some of it may even be self-inflicted. You've had memories suppressed and restored and falsified and erased again, and on top of that you've survived what should have been fatal exposure to SCP-3125, and you've been through a great deal of completely non-anomalous trauma, so ... You would be forgiven for not having worked it out by now, the hole in your life. No, I know, Wheeler says. With some caution, Hughes asks, What do you know? She and I were married at one point, right? Slowly, Hughes nods. Wheeler says, I got there eventually. It felt stupid and obsessive at first to draw that conclusion, self-absorbed. But there were all these facts, and they all fit. At the end of the day, I had to accept it. Hughes asks, and how do you feel about that? Wheeler interlocks his fingers distractedly. He doesn't know. He doesn't know if he wants to know. He's afraid to know. So what if we were married? What does that give me? It's over. It's all gone. ... Could be, Hughes says. What does that mean? Anyway, what was she like? Hughes holds something out to him. It's an auto-injector pen, a stubby, luminous orange cylinder with a pointed cap concealing a needle. There's a fat, black Z printed on its side. Wheeler recognizes it. In fact, he recognizes it as his own, but he finds himself not able to recall where he acquired it or for how long he has been carrying it. This drug he knows will kill him. It will make him remember everything, and this will kill him as it does everybody. Who? Yar, oh my gosh. Jeez, what are you talking about? Oh my goodness, I'm just seeing little pieces of you guys over here, and I'm just, what the heck? Yeah. Frigid, you did not miss out. I haven't gotten there. Lineage of non-wiki SCP-centered spaces is almost as convoluted as the Targaryen dynasty. Okay, I need to... Oh my goodness. Alright. They're doing this Z. Alright. Yeah, you're going back again. Yeah. Very fair, teacher. Oh, okay. This drug he knows it will kill him, but he will remember. There is a kind of singing in his ears. The sunlight in the garden is blurring, smearing out. He catches Hughes' eye, and Hughes is smiling ruefully, and his eye has lit up, a scintillating gold-white point of light. The story breaks, a star, and it pops back. Oh my gosh. I'm moving because I feel the need. We adjust, we change. Okay. Story picks up with, this needs to be the end. There are long, long months of fearful migraine wandering. There is the face-to-face back in the school mediated by the late Daisy Ulrich, so brief and extraordinarily painful that it registers like a gunshot, and then he is enmeshed with SCP-3125 again, complicit and actively engaged in a darkened, metallic hell. The drug makes it impossible to not think about what happened, to not stare directly at what he did. Oh no. Time in there is dilated, stretched to subjective breaking point by the anomaly's mass. It seems to last tens of years, and then the chisel. And after that, for 2 years, he is vacant. He is a suit wrapped around a torn, ragged, edged hole. And then there is Marion, at last, placidly tearing herself out of his life, and him out of hers. And then it's hours earlier than that, the very worst moment, his awful sinking realization that she no longer knows who he is. And then it's 2 days before that. It's 6:15 in the morning, October, pre-dawn and freezing cold. Marion is at her car door, about to leave for work, but distracted by something important on her work phone, and Adam is lingering on the porch, seeing her off. He has a work trip of his own tonight and tomorrow night. So this is the last time they'll see each other until... It's interrupted. This is the last time they'll see each other. This is it. Last time they'll see each other and know who each other is, he means. He digs his heels in, dragging the regression to a straining halt. He calls out, "Marion!" She puts her phone away. She turns around. It's her. The whole of her. She is precisely the way he remembers her. She is the memory, iconic and brilliant. She smiles at him for a long, ridiculous moment. She says, "Do you get it now? You kept me away from all this?" Yes. He goes to her and they kiss, and it's a classic. It's perfect. It's everything either of them remembers. He holds her tightly, and she hugs him back, head heights as mismatched as ever. He sniffs. "You've had a hell of a time," she states. It is a simple fact. How are they interacting in his memory, though? You know? Okay. "I needed you," he says. "I didn't even know how badly. I didn't need you to help me. I just needed to stand aside and let you do the job instead, Marion. Your job is lunacy. I 100% understand why you tried to keep me out of this half of your life for so long, and I will never ask about it again." She looks up at him. It looks like she's about to say something, but the pain in Adam's brain makes itself known again, and he has to break off. The pain is forcing its way forward into the back of his eyes. The rate of regression is increasing again. Different memories from all parts of his life are clamoring at him now, and their combined volume is increasing, and it's becoming difficult to think clearly. Marion, though, is part of most of the memories, not a constant. She has evolved and grown over years, but a common thread. He focuses on her. "Well, I'm tired." "Okay, Yar. Go eat, sleep well." "What do you mean you've done bad, TJ? I don't think we need to bonk you. You guys were all in emote-only jail already. You're okay." "Okay. Sleep well, Jar. Okay. We'll see you later. Okay." "Why did you bonk yourself, TJ? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Stop. You already have a hurt finger. You don't need to do anything else." Okay. Different memories from all parts of his life are clamoring at him now, and their combined volume is increasing, and it's becoming difficult to think clearly. Marion, though, is part of most of the memories, not a constant. She has evolved and grown over years, but a common thread. He focuses on her. "I don't have a lot of time to bring you up to speed," he manages. "This isn't real. We're both sharing Bart Hughes' mind right now. I don't know how much you know. There's an anti-memetic monster," with anti in brackets, a memetic and anti-memetic monster, "called SCP-3125, she says. It killed me and the Division and the Foundation, and now it's occupying our whole reality. It ruins humans. It's the worst thing that's ever existed. There's no one left but you, and you can't stop it. You can't even look at it. Hughes needs an idea to amplify, so you took a lethal dose of biochemical nestic to reify me? R-E-I-F-Y. Refine me properly? Because I was the best idea you had. Does that cover it?" Adam grins weakly, with great relief. His wife has caught up characteristically quickly. "Well, as far as I'm aware, it's all in your head. How is this different from just your thoughts? Anyway." "You tried to put LeBlanc and Yar in a moat jail by themselves." "No, they need that." "No, that might have been exactly what I wanted." Community SCP storytelling time. Yeah. Yes. Wait, you mean like, what do you mean? Oh. Currently enjoying the era of during the pandemic. Everyone was there. Lots of hilarious moments like being unable to cook. Then 19 court officially opened, which is slowly but surely siphoned user away from activity. Sparsing in between. Rip. Aw, sorry your little community is kind of fracturing, but that's cool. I'm glad you had that space anyway. Public promises. Well, until schism occurred, which broke the entire community. Aww. Aww. I'm sorry to hear that, Nuriakia. Sorry that it's not as it was. Oh, darn. I can't go wasting time. I've only got a little bit. Okay. Mods, we will need to hit the skip buttons. I don't know if I'm going to make it. Let's see if we can. Where was I? Oh, no. Okay. Adam grins weakly. Yes, she's catching up. Just about. We live in ridiculous times. She steps back from him. She looks at him and at herself and at their fictional little scene steadily brightening as the sun rises. She looks, quote-unquote, up at the unimaginably gigantic memeplex which she has to kill. Inside its maw, human existence, all humans, and all things humans have ever done, said, thought, or been are burning alive. SCP-3125 is, in large part, the lie that SCP-3125 is inevitable and indestructible, but it is a lie. I said we need to skip. Okay. Please do the skip buttons. Okay. She feels it now. She knows in her bones that she is irreal, an animate memory, an ideal, an abstract. When she started to exist a few moments ago, she was mostly realistic, but she can feel flaws and complexity being stripped away from her. She can see the shape of the idea complex which Hughes is assembling around her. It looks... Oh, that's weird. Oh, sorry. Okay. It looks like a heavily reworked slice through the concept of the Foundation itself. The Foundation's noblest intentions and achievements, at least. The best purpose of its existence, to protect people. To swallow up all the horror, to manage it and understand it. To keep it under lock and key so that people don't have to be afraid. Which is not the whole story on it. Absolutely not. Adam, she says again, looking up again. Adam, she says again. It's going to work. I can see all the way to the end from here. That's good, he manages. It's been a long time since I had good news. He falls to his knees. His skull feels as if it's splitting open. She kneels with him, taking one of his hands. He is seeing things, and the things he is being forced to see are hurting him. SCP-3125 has been hacking away at his and her lives for far longer than he knew. They'd lost so much by the end, he had no idea. And it's not just him, he realizes, it's everybody. He needs to multiply his feeling by billions. You've got to end this thing, he says, the pain rising to a flashpoint. It has to be today, no more. Adam, listen. It's a different kind of experience up there. I've seen glimpses of it before, but I've never been there. I don't know what it's going to be like, but I know I won't be human anymore. I'm already not real. I won't be able to come back. I love you. There is a burning, corrosive sensation crawling across the surface of Adam's brain, a crackle like cellular automata. I know, he says, it's okay. There's going to be no one to come back to. It was good to see you. I love you. And then I guess Bart Hughes' big voice, stand back. It's the all caps italics. She stands back from him. She flexes what could be wings. Ooh. You used to sing, Adam says. All the time. It's the first thing it took away from us, but I remember. The launch window opens. There is a kind of ignition, and Marion Wheeler's perspective shifts, and everything seems to shrink, and she is on the ascent. The story breaks a star, and it picks up. The part of SCP-3125 which was capable of communication has had its brains blown out. That's the red. Adam did that. There is no longer anything to reason with. There is no quip. There is a song, but it's a song she sings for herself. The thing is titanic in its structure, brain-breaking in its topology. It comes from a space where ideas exist on a scale entirely beyond those of humans. Its wrongness and its self-consistent evil are so profound that it hurts to comprehend. At first, looking directly at it causes stinging, actinic flashes in Marian's eyes, like ionizing radiation. But her perspective is still shifting, because she's still ascending, and as she ascends, ceasing to be human, she sees through the adversary and comes to understand instinctively how it is structured and how it is faulty and how those faults can be attacked. It turns to face her. When they meet, what happens is less fight than it is mathematics, an equation settling at the end of a long, painful stretch of working, a blizzard of cancelled terms. In the presence of, all caps, wild light, vast tracts of SCP-3125, thought to meaningfully exist, prove not to. It is in this new context which, all caps, wild light, provides an ancient irrelevance. It folds up, limb after branching limb, winking out of existence. It releases its grip on everything human. The mathematics is good. It happens in exactly the way Hughes modeled it, back in the bunker, using the memetic equivalent of fluid dynamics equations, taking thousands of processor years to simulate. After the finger limbs are gone, a livid red/green eyeball remains. The foundation/Wheeler/protection abstract punctures it, lasering straight through it from front to back. A colorless shockwave spreads through the eyeball interior, another quiet canceling out, leaving bright vacuum behind it, not even particles. And all that is left from the collision is the balance, a final wild photon, outbound to the deepest limit of eidetic space, never to return. The end. So theoretically, we have done it. We have killed the 3125. Ba-ba-da! But what is left? And that is what I was asking when we wrapped up yesterday. When we win, what do we win? But okay. There we go. That's that. One thing I'm still... Okay, so Bart in germ form ate Adam to try to assess him, and then we administered Z and boosted with Bart to get Marion as an idea out there, which... How is she acting separately if it's all just his memories that he's remembering? Anyway, but Bart ate other people. Who did he eat? It said that Adam looked around and saw other, older bodies. What the heck? What does that mean? Who did he get? He said he assumed his team wasn't there. They weren't there. Did that mean that eventually he found them or some other people showed up? How? Anyway. Good night, DJ. You're headed out to go and eat. Okay, eat well. Take care. Tuck yourself in. Oh, good. Snuggy. Okay. I'm just wondering how am I supposed to think that this is how that works? Okay. Anyway. That was Tombstone. Oh my goodness. Just one more and it's, the epilogue. So we'll see what that is. But oh my goodness. Okay, we have a bunch of ideas. I take a big yawn. Okay, what do we have? A hydrate. I will hydrate right now. I'm so sorry. Okay. The little squeezy bottles. Okay. We have dice, we have humming, we have mic arm sharpening, we have that, we have rage puff, we have scissors. We have another humming, another rage puff, and another scissors. Mic arm sharpening again. Rage puffing again. and sniffs. So we've got a bunch of duplicates. And normally I don't do the duplicates. I just get to them after the next story. So that's the plan. I'll do sniffs and dice and humming and sharpening and rage puffing and snips. And that trigger word. But yeah. It's okay. It's okay, Fet. We'll find out if we need less breaks, basically. Because I'll do the duplicates after the next story. But okay, so first up, trigger word. Is Frigid still here? Frigid was concerned that they were gonna miss stuff before, so I don't want to say his trigger word with him not here. You know what? How about I start with sniffs? I assume LaHunk still be hanging around. Let's go with sniffs. And then dice, and if I get confirmation that Frigid is here, then I'll do my trigger word for him. Okay, let's start with dice. I'm gonna have to move the mic and then line it up, and then it's dice. Let's go. Let's move. Okay, I gotta mute because it's gonna be, you know how it is. Okay. Okay, we have dice all ready to go. I need to be loud so you can hear me. Dice time. Here we go. Sorry. There was our dice. I will do... Oh no, there's an ad. There's an ad coming in. There's an ad about to start. I didn't know it was coming. I didn't notice. How did I not realize this? Oh my gosh. Okay. Oops. Okay. An ad hell. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. But for the kalimba, I gave you the songs. You back, honk? Good. We do not have the peoples. Why do we not have the peoples? I'm gonna go ahead and do mic arm sharpening. Oh, Oni, I just did the dice. I just did dice. I'm sorry. Okay. hear the dice? Did you hear the dice, Oni? No, get out. Oh my gosh. No, guys, I don't. Okay, there you go. I'm gonna refund that, Gary. Hold on. Okay. We have just done dice, and I want to move for mic arm sharpening here. So I'm gonna move the mic for mic arm sharpening, but the ad came in and I wanted to make sure that everybody was okay. Okay, I'm moving the mic. It's gonna be loud. By it's gonna be loud, I meant I'm gonna mute it instead of let it be loud. I should have said that anyway. What? Ah! Don't do the weird face, Motto. Okay. Mic arm sharpening. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, that is our sharpening, and I'm gonna move the mic back. Lots of little poppies on that. Okay, I'm back. We have done the first mic arm sharpening. And I'm sorry that Frigid is missing some of these, but there's duplicates. We'll see on stuffs later. I'll do humming, rage puffing, scissors, and sniffs. That's how that's gonna go. Okay, humming time. Okay. No, actually, I should do something else. Yes, okay, I'll do this now. Welcome in, Ghost of the Valley. Thank you for your follow. We have a tradition here. We do a little dance whenever somebody's a new join, and I read out their full name. So, Ghost of the Valley, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. I'm glad you like the hums. We've got a few more. I usually do like 3 different songs, and then we move on to the next thing for just a few seconds each, or not a few seconds, a little bit each for each of the songs. Okay. What do we want to do? What song do I want to do? Oh, thank you, Ghost of the Valley. The specifics on that compliment are getting me, my goodness. Lower parts of the rhythm flow so smooth and sound like they're coming from inside my brain. Like, that's so. Thank you. I do think I sing better at a lower tone. I do think so. But thank you. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, now I'm just excited for when we do the next humming section and I do the other songs. Okay. Um. Next, we're gonna do the rage puffing and then snips. No, rage puffing, scissor snips, and then sniffers. There we go. That's it. Rage puffing time. What is that? There's your explanation. Thank you for making that command. It's already gotten so much work. Okay. We warned you. Here it goes. A perfect 1 minute of rage puffing. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, but I just spit all over my paper. That's one problem with the rage puff. There sometimes be slight spit. Oh no. Ew. Ew. Okay. When you're creating a character and can't decide what voice to pick. Oh no. I hope that's not what happens. Okay. Ah! We did the rage puff. Now we do scissor snips. Scissor snips. Scissors, scissors, scissors. Okay. Come here. Okay, here they are. Alright. Settle. Chill. Here we go. There was our scissor snips. Okay. Alright. I hope you're still here, Lahonk. This is yours. Are you ready? Are you ready? Ooh, I think we're gonna do those brushes at the next break if that's okay, Gary. We've had a pretty long break. I want to go into the next story after this. But okay. I arrange. It's sniffs time. Okay, and there was our sniffers. Alright. I hope Bill Hawk was here to hear it. I hope that he didn't leave. That would be unfortunate. And I hope Frigid is somewhere back here soon for the trigger word, because that's still sitting there. I like to wait for my triggers till I'm in the out of the story, but yeah. This one isn't going to be as long as the last one was, so we'll be able to come back to triggers a bit faster. I think I'm going to like it here. Well, I'm glad that's so. Welcome in. Oh, yep, Long is here. You caught the end of Sniffs. Well, there's the last couple. I see you redeemed it again for next break. Okay, okay. Alright, what was I? Alright. So this next one is, it's called Champions of Nothing. The last, it's considered the epilogue of it, I guess. Champions of Nothing. There we go. Okay, here we go. Turt, hello, you little rar. Welcome in, Turt. Okay. Oh boy. Oh. Right, we have an 05 right away. It's the 058 that was in the thing. Raven, do you do rars? I mean, it's not a trigger, but you could have put it as a trigger word at any point. Is what I did okay? Should I be more specific, more performative? I've never heard somebody else do RARs because I don't really listen to ASMR very much. Should I be doing RARs? Huh? I'm not opposed to. Tell me. Okay. But where were Champions of Nothing? Picking up right where we left off. Nearly. Marion Wheeler, the memory, has come up, defeated them. What now? Here we go. In quotes, we have ... And what have we learned? It takes 058 a significant amount of time to answer his own question. He speaks with a measured, level tone. He is in no hurry. We have learned that there is time missing from our world, almost a year of extremely recent history. And there are spaces, significant spaces in every population center which cannot be perceived or entered. The cities are rerouting around them like mountains or radiation zones. And along with that time and that space, we have learned that there are enough people missing without any explanation whatsoever that if I spent the rest of my considerably augmented lifespan counting them, I could not count to that number. He pauses. And outside of the New Spherics Division, he says, no one, not a single person, is even aware of these thefts. Even those in the division who made this discovery cannot recall what happened during that missing time. And he said New Spherics Division because the Antimemetics Division is all out. They're not even around. So, like, we don't even have... You think of a couple people who do RARs, but not many. Well, you know what? I can do that. But I think it works well as a trigger. I don't know. Or a trigger word one, right? If you just say the one. Is that something I'm supposed to do for a minute straight? What? Okay. Where was? New Spherics Division, not a single word. Cannot recall what happened during the missing time, and no one can enter that missing space. The gap in reality itself can barely be perceived. It is this ... shocking, blinding absence, this unknown unknown. We have learned, we have cautiously hypothesized, that 3 to 4 years ago, an unimaginable anomaly entered our reality, and then, sometime later, it left, taking all of that space and all of that time, and all of those people with it. We did not know what it was or what it did. We have tried to find out, but the truth evades my best new sphericists. The question fights back as if it doesn't want to be answered. And we do not know why the anomaly left, though my experts say that in the conceptual realm there is evidence, traces, of what could have been a conflict. And in the distance, shining down on us, there is a great new star, which I guess would be Marion Wheeler, since that was her thing. Anyway. He hesitates. Even I don't remember what happened, he continues, with his voice lowered, which I personally find ... deeply alarming, because this is recent history. Like nearly everybody alive, I must have been there. In some respect, I must have gone through it. Thank you for the hydrate shrimp frying rice. I'm gonna always get a kick out of that name, I think. Okay. I must have gone through it. But if we have learned if we have nothing else, we have learned this. Humans can walk away from and forget anything. Civilization can go back to normal, in quotes, after anything. He sits in contemplative silence for some time. He stares at nothing. He worries briefly that he really does know the truth, and that there is nothing anomalous preventing him from knowing it. That it's simple denial, but he won't say that out loud, even here. Where is here, and who is he talking to? Okay. He says, and I wonder, What was the Foundation's role in this? Were we witness to this anomaly? Were we the ones who defeated it? Did we resist it? Negotiate? Participate? We are here now, intact. We are back. To what do we owe that? Did we hide or run? Do we deserve to be back? Have we that right? We failed in our stated objective. These people are gone, and it's useless to pretend that they aren't dead. We failed orders of magnitude harder than we've ever failed before. I just want to interrupt to say this is the guy that was like, hey, we shouldn't categorize anything as impossible to defeat, because my guy. That's what this was. Anyway, okay, sorry. Because, like, people died. That's, even if everybody came back, it was impossible to avoid. It happened. Yeah, da-da-da. Okay. We failed harder than we ever have before, despite which we remain clandestine and unknown to greater humanity, which means that no one external to the Foundation can ever hold us accountable for our actions or lack thereof. If what happened at the O5 Council meeting yesterday is any indication, what happened yesterday, we will certainly never hold ourselves accountable. What happened to those people? My people? Where are they? No one is just dead. No one is merely passively dead. Death is caused. Well, age. SCP-055 cannot answer him. Who's 055 again? Who's SCP-055? I don't see Noriyuki, so I'm gonna... SCP-055. Who is 055? Self-keeping secret or anti-meme. Ooh, okay. So this, whatever it is, will keep the secret. He says, his voice rising, these things happen, and we say to ourselves, never again, and 100 years pass, and they happen again. He says, last time, the time before this one, the time none of us remember, the time for which there is no evidence of any kind, but which I now realize must exist, that time when we told ourselves and each other, we must do better. What did we do differently from then on, and why didn't that work? He says, what does the Foundation need to be? Where does it need to be? And how far is that place from here? Can we see it from here? Or is this it? He does not know. And after leaving the containment unit, he knows he will not even remember the questions. Story breaks, the star picks up. Direct observation is harmful to Nema's species. What is Nema? Who is Nema? Her mother died when she was a juvenile, killed instantly when a Foundation researcher took a close-up flash photograph of her face. Ooh! The Foundation thinks her whole species is extinct, wiped out by infertility and disease, as an indirect result of excessively close Foundation study. But they are not extinct. Some of them adapted. They fled across oceans and then inland. They grew thicker antimemetic armor. Nema is a fully grown adult sea gigantes. That's the animal that was the skull that everybody was hiding in for that meeting where Bartholomew Hughes they were planning how to solve everything, but then he got shot and da-da-da. They're well built for antimemetic. Anyway, okay. So you got a massively vertically... let's start over. Nema is a fully grown adult sea gigantes, a massively vertically elongated, quadruped, quadruped. Why am I saying it like that? Almost a kilometer tall at the shoulder. Same arc. This is the last, 3 paragraphs of that whole thing. We're wrapping it up right this minute. She almost a kilometer tall at the shoulder. As 058 motorcade leaves Site 19, she is standing just beyond the site's perimeter with a crumpled metaspider in her mouth. She's eating the 3125. Ooh. She is unable to perceive the motorcade or the site itself any more than any human Foundationer can perceive her. They only barely walk the same earth. That's so cool. The spider is a 200-meter long bundle of legs, eyes, and chitin. Long body parts dangling from each side of Nima's jaws. The spider convulses ineffectually. It can't escape. It is the last one. Hell yeah, Nima! Kill him! The spiders were numerous and tasty, but the ones who walk very slowly have a broad diet. I guess that's what she calls her folks, the sea gigantes, the ones who walk very slowly. Nima bites down, biting through the last of the spider's legs, which begin an achingly slow tumble to the ground, accompanied by a gout of bug juice. Ugh. Nima tosses the spider's mauled thorax in the air and catches it in the back of her throat. She gulps it down, mostly whole, still twitching. She raises her head and vocalizes triumphantly, a deafening, inaudible, infrasonic warble. The call carries all the way to her mate and children on the horizon. Oh, I love that last little chunk of story. That's so hopeful. I love hearing an SCP that's not contained by the Foundation, living, has a family, eating the stuff that's killing everybody. I'm in love. That little guy, that's exactly how I feel about Nima. Nima, I love you. I love you. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Look at her. You go, girl. Oh my goodness. Ah, she ate the last spider. She's living. She has a family. The Foundation doesn't see her. She doesn't see the Foundation. Slay Queen or something like that. It's because there's a or something like that that I'm hearing the Slay Queen as Slay Queen or something like that. And it's not the slay. Like I love it. Okay. Little snaps. Slay. Okay. Oh, look at that yassified little Nixie. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Yes. Okay, sorry. But that is the end. OMG Slay Queen, you ain't. Oh, see, now you sell it. That's how you sell it. Okay. But that's the end of it. DewOnTheGrass, if you're listening somewhere, watching the VOD, I don't know. Maybe you're seeing this days after it's happening. But anyway, thank you for this little last thing. This whole story, this whole ride has been a lot. And it hurts me that the Wheelers got separated and have to like miss each other the way that they did. But for that last little chunk of story that there's this species, it also like it hits me as they're essentially, in my head, there's something related to an elephant or mammoth, but just extremely bigger. But they're not. There was never tusks or anything involved. But it is a quadruped, so it could be like a giant puppy or whatever, and it's eating a giant bug, and I don't know. Anyway, it's feeling very ancient and natural and less sci-fi forward thinking where things feel like over explained kind of stuff. I like when it's rooted. This is an animal and that's how this animal works. This is what this animal eats. There are germs on this animal that do that. That was a little bit of a thinking much, but this was so sweet. And that it just goes back to, and the Foundation can't even touch us. We're just so cool. We're still living. They can't hold us down. Hell yeah. They can't keep us. I love it. Okay. But that was Champions of Nothing and the end of the Antimemetics Saga. Wow. Okay. Triggers time. I said I'd be back to them pretty quick, and so here it is. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. You have another humming. We actually have one already in the lineup. So we've got so many hummings, but that's good. Posture check. You know what? That's it. Fair. Yes. We need that. I wasn't shrimping, but I was curling up in a way. I was totally sideways, actually. Okay. I'm so sorry. That hurt. Oh, that hurt. Did you hear that? I heard that. Ow. Ah, I barely touched the mic. Ow. I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm so sorry. Evil. 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 This is why we have the new mic on its way. I'm gonna mute and adjust mic, fix it for a minute, and hope it doesn't do it to me again, but it might. Oh my goodness. Evil mic. Okay. Oh my goodness. We have so many redeems. We might need to pause them all in a second because I think we've got enough to last to the end of the stream at this point. But okay. So I've got humming, rage puffing, scissors, mic sharpening, rage puffing again, brushes, sniffs again, humming, posture check, I just did, page flipping, keys. We at least have enough for now. So we'll stop here. I have 2 humming and 2 rage puffing, I think. Go lurk mode and crash. That's perfect. Yes, okay. Oh, thank you. I'm glad it's easy to fall asleep. I always feel so complimented. It is a great honor. So, eat well, take care. I'm glad you can fall asleep. Okay. I think we'll start with scissor snips, mic arm sharpening, and then we'll get to some of the others. Okay. Scissor snips. Let's do that. Normally I go in order, but because they are doubles and I don't want to get mixed up with things, that's why I'm doing them out of order. I'm doing them mostly in order, but just a little bit off. So scissor snips up first. Here we go. Scissors. Hello. See, Privet, I'm guessing you mean that this is hello, another language. But welcome in. I will say we're English in here, so if you're gonna say anything in another language, please also add an English translation. I'm planning, I needed to add that to my new like rules thing that popped up when you first joined the chat, but I'll be adding that shortly. You know, whenever I remember and actually do it. But anyway, well, welcome in. Hello, hello. Settle in, get comfy. That was our scissor snips. I think I will do mic arm sharpening. Oh, goodness. And then a humming. Let's do mic arm sharpening, which is just our, you know, like knife sharpening, but it's faked. So. There we go. Have I read the One Day Break story, the one where the character is in a computer watching recordings? I'm not entirely sure. When day breaks might be one of the things that was recommended, maybe read. I will go check real quick. It looks like it's not on my list. But if you join the Discord, you can drop it in the recommended story, the story sharing channel, and then that will end up on my little to be read things. If you have a link to it, it works best. So yeah, drop that in there, and then I'll also make sure to thank you. The difference though is that when you have different names already in the Discord, right? Okay, did you drop a story before? Was that you? Because there was a Discord name that dropped a story in the story sharing, but it wasn't a name I recognized at first. So probably a different name between Discord and here. And so then I was like, oh, oop, I don't recognize. I don't know who to attribute because it's not the same name as the person on on Twitch. But I'll give them at least one of their account names the attention. Anyway, okay. My brain is not very good. I have bad memory sometimes. So I was like, oh no, what happened? But okay, what was I? Mic arm sharpening. Yes. Let's do that. I'm going to move the mic. My voice sounds funny. I'm going to do a cough, and then we'll do the sharpening. Rip from the headline story. Aha! Okay, yes. Alright. I will mute. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna mute and move back. Okay, I'm back. It was starting to do that weird little whiny thing, and yes, okay. Thank you for posting. Now, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do humming, I think. Let's do humming. And then, rage puffing. Because it's time. Okay. Let's start with... Das Lieber Johnny. It's one of the... where? It's one of the... I forget word. Never mind. I'm failing. You know, not pirate song, but essentially a pirate song. brain isn't cooperating. I don't know the word. You can't make me know the word. Okay. So then my next. Okay. Sea shanty. Yes, dang it. Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah, it was Lever Johnny Lever. Anyway, okay, what was I? Where was I? Ah. And one more. Okay, there is that one. And that's the end of our little humming for this round. I'll do Rage Puff, Brushes, and Sniffs before we wrap up and go to the next story. Ooh, welcome in. Hello, Scarface 17308 Dreamy. I always read out the full name, so sorry if you don't want your numbers. But yes, welcome in. Thank you for the follow, Scarface Dreamy. Here's some dance emotes, because that's what we do when we've got somebody new. We drop some kind of dance emotes. I've got a little happy dancing frogs here. Where was I? I'm moving. Oh, yes. Okay. It was Rage Puffin' time. Dun dun dun. No, I'm clicking that. There we go. There we go. Rage puffing. It's something. Here we go. You'll learn what it is when you hear it. am well and fully out of Rage Puff energy. I know there's another one stacked away, but I can't. I don't know if I can do it. Rage Puff is the one trigger that just... I lose all energy. I lose it all. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. I have brushes, I have sniffs, and then we go on to the next thing. Here we go. Brushes. It's been a minute since we've done brushes. I'm going to turn up the microphone volume, and then I'm going to use it. But if other noises are going on, like the mic, if it ends up being a mean mic while it's volumed up, I'm so sorry. But here we go. Let's assume it'll go well. Gonna volume way up. Come on. Are we there? Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Okay, there's our brushies. I see we've got a new follower and it hit my follower goal. I don't know if it's... Okay, yeah, it's sticking. Okay. Ah! Oh, I need to go down. Oh my gosh. Oops, that might have been too loud. Hi, Mystical Sky. You're your number 975. So welcome in. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, Mystical Sky. We have a tradition where we drop little dance emojis whenever someone's new follower. So there's your little dances. We just had one for Scarface Dreamy up there. So I'm surprised that happened so soon. But yeah, hi, welcome in. Yay! We've got 975. My goodness, you guys. I usually do my follower goals up at 25 at a time these days. So I'm just one more goal away from 1,000 followers. Are you kidding me? This is happening. Oh my goodness. Welcome in though. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Ah! Okay. You bouncy. Okay. There is our brushes. So I hope you enjoyed that, Gary. I'm going to do one more sniffs. Sniffs time is what now. And the rest of the redeems will be once we have finished the next story. And then we'll probably lift redeems and finish up with a few more redeems. Because I've picked out another story, but I don't think it'll be perfect timing. It never is, but we'll see. Okay, so here is sniffs time. Let's go sniff us. Yeah, sniff. Okay. Alright. Oh, you're gonna head out soon? Oh, then you know what, Turtle Boy? I'll do them before I go. I'll do them for you if you're gonna head out. We'll do sniffs and then those, because you have just two. We'll just do those two. Okay, here we go. there's our sniffles. Hope you enjoyed that. Okay, so we're gonna do page flipping keys real quick, cause then Turtle Boy is headed out. Oh, okay, I make exception. Page flipping. Here we go. We'll start there. Alright. We start with a little book that has thicker papers. Oh my gosh, Gary, you did miss your brushes. Oh my goodness. We'll do brushes at the next one, okay? Don't you worry, I'll do brushes at the next one. I'll redeem it so it happen. Okay. Page flipping, we start with the little book. Yes. Let's do the page. Where's my brushes at? There. Oh right, I paused it. I can't. Never mind, I'll get it. Greetings, you're back. Noriyuki, hello. We're doing some page flippers and then keys. There was our little bookie. And now the big book with fluffier pages. There we go. Alright, there is our page flipping, and now we'll do some keys. Oh, before Turt heads out. Whoa. There we go. Keys. There they are. Alright, here we go. And that's the keys. There you go. Okay. there, and this one move over here. Okay, I got that. Right, now we'll go into the stories again. I hope that you have a good eat tart when you head out. There you go with your geese. Yeah, I feel bad. But I think, no, don't feel bad, Raven. You say it in your little bot, you warn people. You redeem stories after, or you redeems after stories, in between stories. So you gotta expect that it might take me a minute to get to it. And by minute, I mean maybe even an hour if it's a long, long story. But okay, I messed up. Because I still have a trigger word from Frigid, who isn't even here. I should have read that one. Anyway, okay. What's my favorite SCP in terms of story? I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, I just said that I really enjoyed the one guys. That would be nice. The sea gigantes living on. Their story that they keep, like, they're not caught. I love that. And that they helped the SCP Foundation, you know, without them even knowing. Because the one stillborn little one of them that they have the body of saved them for a while. They got this thing all sorted out. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna head out. Okie doke. Eep well, Turt. See you later. And Gary, big eepy, missed your brushes because you closed your eyes. Ah, darn. Well, I'll read the next story and hopefully you hear them at the next one. But okay, there's gonna be an ad shoving its way in, so I'm gonna do that real quick. Ad is making its way now. Boop. There's an ad that's running right now. Okay. And I'm gonna switch over from the trigger. I'm on the reading. I'm not on keys. We are reading Clockwork Time. That's what we're reading. Okay. I'll tidy up, Raven. Yep. Yep, okay. Sorted. Alright. I hope everybody's having a good night. It's comfy, it's cozy, and this is going well. Sorry the ads happened. I'm sorry the ads were especially shitty today. Ugh. That didn't work like I wanted. Aha, welcome back. Sorry I had to do ad. If the things were working out at the start like they should have, I wouldn't have had to. But anyway, okay. A little hydrate. And the next story, don't worry about making my brushes up, I appreciate, but it's my fault. Story with time was too good. Well, huzzah! Well, hopefully, how about we say you get a free brushes in the future, Gary? How about that? Free brush in the future. Alright, but here is Clockwork Time. It's another recommended from DewOnTheGrass, but it is separate. It's its own thing. It's not connected, as far as I know, to any of the other stories. Here we go. This says Fabergé. Maybe they mean Fabergé, but I don't know. The Fabergé bastard was raging. Okay, what an opening sentence. Yeah, it's gotta be Fabergé, even though it's not spelt that way. I realize I don't think I've seen Fabergé spelled. Yeah, I'm gonna say that that's Fabergé. Okay. The Fabergé bastard was raging. Tools flew, doors slammed, the walls and floorboards rattled. Though through it all, he loosed a stream of profanity so acidic it threatened to peel the already faded paint. Rejected him, all caps, heir to the most prestigious jewelers in the world, makers of wonders only seen in dreams, tossed out like some beggar at the gate. What's more, it was done by some pathetic, overpuffed lackwit of a servant, his offering never even reaching the edge of the Tsar's gate. Well, what is this about, and why is this man's rage at rejection so important? Get over it. Okay. He threw a hammer hard enough to lodge it in a wall, fuming and drooling with vitriolic rage. His egg, a perfect representation of the legendary Fabergé eggs presented to the young princes and princesses, lay shattered in a fine dust around the floor. It had taken nearly a full year to create. Oh, jeez. At no small cost to his personal finances, relationships, and nerves, I bet. Glittering and gilded, inscribed around every inch, were miniature scenes and tales of Baba Yaga and Koshali, the Deathless, I'm guessing. The cold eyes of clear diamond, the fearful children of soft pearl. Behind a tiny hidden catch in the painting of the chicken-footed home of Baba Yaga, there opened a tiny clockwork pageant of horror. As the tiny, delicate doors swung open, the battle between hero and villain unwound, the bright, clear-faced lad battling the eternally old Koshki? Gruesome, but just the thing for a bloody-minded boy, as the youngest prince was well known to be. All this dashed to splinters because some worthless advisor was, quote-unquote, offended, and would not have it, in quotes again, upsetting the delicate sensibilities of the young lord. Pigeon-hearted swine, he'd had the audacity to have the guard escort him, none too softly, outside the gate. His rage ebbed, head throbbing as he slouched against a wall. The workshop/living quarters was in shambles, only the highest shelves remaining somewhat untouched. He panted, starting to quietly sob, looking down at his worthless hands. It was his best work, and he knew he'd never make its equal again. His eyes rolled to the rafters, absently seeking out the stoutest, the most likely to bear his weight. Oh, dark. Suddenly his eye settled on the clockwork rose resting in the high corner. With a twist, it would bloom open, then fold in on itself to become a chirping bird. He stared, eyes red-rimmed and feverish, as an idea started to slowly writhe. Okay, so there's this guy that's making this stuffs. He made an amazing Fabergé egg to give to some young prince who likes violence, but his advisor was offended at the violence and said, oh, that can't go affecting the prince. But it's like, that's exactly what the prince would like, according to our narrator. And therefore, he's very angry. Okay. Why do we care? How is this SCP? What's going on? He stood, taking down the rose, winding it, and watching the ballet of change. It was always the change that amused, the secret unfolding. With the eggs, the outside was almost ignored in the hunt of the secret inside. Secrets, change. He slowly smiled, an unwholesome expression on his gaunt, grim face. He would build them a wonder, the likes of which the world, the world had never seen and would never see again. He would create a treasure that would be kept and passed down ages after the Tsars were dead, gone, and forgotten. He started with smashed clocks. Crawling from workshops and rubbish heaps, he gathered every toy, tool, or clock he could find with so much as a cog in it. His workshop filled quickly with stacks and stacks of gears, belts, flywheels, and springs, all ordered and stacked to the rafters. His blueprints grew as well, from 2 sheets to 5, then 8, then 20. Soon he'd taken to jotting outlines on the walls, scribbling notations on the floor of the narrow walkways through the gears. What few friends he'd had started to talk. He'd grown impossibly more gaunt and haggard, his eyes feverish and driven, and seldom spoke above a mumble. The few who stopped to check on him could barely squeeze in his door, and were quickly choked by the smell of oil and rust. His already limited output of jewelry and clockworks stopped completely, along with his income. He took to selling furniture, clothes, anything that could buy the little food he needed. Whispers of possession and dark arts started to follow him. So people rumoring, but he's just severely obsessed. The shunning was nothing new to him, and in a way was almost welcome. He had a suspicion of those who were too nice, too open, and the constant nagging drain of interaction slowed down the work. Since discarding the frivolity of sleep, he'd gained even more time to devote to the work, the petty whining of his neighbors over the night noise silenced by his grim stare. The assembly started to take shape, the millions of parts starting to move from pile to the growing mass that took up most of his small room. He drowsed in its silent heart, as close to sleep as he had been in weeks, and listened to the phantom ticking of the coming birth. He poured all that he had, all that he was, into the work. He spoke to it, cajoling, cursing, whispering, shouting. He lost flesh to slipped bolts and suddenly engaged cogs. He poured blood and pus over chisels, awls, and screwdrivers in his hands, as his hands split, blistered, healed, and then split again. He asked the mass its opinion on its slowly forming wooden skin. Should this window go here, or perhaps a tower, a rabbit or a rat behind this tree? The first time it started the clanking and rattling, causing dust to pour from the roof, he embraced and kissed the wood and metal horror with more passion than he had ever shown a woman. Okay. Hi, DewOdd. Doing okay. How are you doing? We just finished the saga that we were reading before. Just a little bit. We've started in on a different story. It's not a whole saga. It's just itself. But anyway, okay. Finally, it was ready. I know. Yippee. Okay. Finally, it was ready. So large, he would have to batter down a wall. So heavy, it would take 30 stout men to hoist it out. He touched it with all the delicacy and adoration of a father touching the tiny fingers of his new child. It had gone beyond a simple gift, an offering to the mighty. It was all he had ever known. Lover, child, mother, he had wrung out all that his pinched soul had to this beautiful, terrible creation. And then there's a line through the story instead of stars breaking it up. Because, well, is this a different? Ooh, I don't see the author on it. Okay. Secret author. Ooh. Well, I'm glad you're good. Okay. The parade was a grand affair, if boring. In the 5 years since a gaunt, grim man was turned away carrying an ornamental egg, the Tsar and his family had changed very little. Perhaps a little more fat on the lord and lady, a little more firmness of feature to the princes, and some suggestive curves to the princess, but otherwise an identical portrait. Even the birthday parade had the same tired floats, the same gilded carriages. When the procession came to a road blocked by a massive shape and an emaciated horror, the princess actually had to be nudged awake from a light doze. The mad Fabergé stood before a hill covered in grimy tarps. He had not spent the years in idle suspension. His limbs were as thin as a scarecrow, his muscles like thin cables writhing beneath. His head was a pinched skull with some expression, and his smile nearly sent the queen into a swoon. The worn, tattered clothes hung from him like a sack, puffing and swaying as he made a low bow. His voice was a brittle, harsh rasp as he spoke. "My lord, may I present on this glorious day my gift?" The tarps fell away and the whole square lost its breath. A fairy tale kingdom had sprouted in the center of the street. Around the base were small trees and shrubs, thick with cavorting fairies and goblins. Tiny brooks and lakes held glittering mermaids and smiling fish. Deeper, a tiny gnome village rested against a Lilliputian mountain range, because it's all small. The men froze in work and play. Songbirds and dragons nestled in the high places, and dark, suggestive shapes lurked in the caves and burrows. All this paled, however, to the castle, with spires rising nearly 20 feet in the air. It shone like a vision of another world. 2 large, stout gates stood open, armored knights guarding the way in plumed helms. Balconies held ladies of unearthly beauty, their suitors bent to a knee in devotion, or shielding them from horrors spawned from the darkest dreams of man. Grand balls and feasts were frozen in the inner halls, and a king with a visage radiating power presided over a trial. The moat swarmed with beasts, and every pinnacle played roost to all manner of wings. Speech was impossible. Every inch glittered and shone with gems and gilding. Crystals radiated rainbows along every surface. Pearl and gold shimmered like a dream. The creator stooped to an alleyway and drew forth a mangy dog, gently jostling it up the shimmering walkway of silver to the left castle gateway. He closed it, then stepped over to a fairy ring of silver mushrooms. In it were arranged tiny statues, and he lifted one up, fitting it into a small stone altar above the ring. He then slotted a polished brass key into the slot below the stone, and twisted. Suddenly the kingdom came to life. The whole square, until now struck dumb, almost screamed with delight. The fish swam, the birds sang, the knights marched, the gnomes dug. Everywhere was movement, sound, light. The trees swayed, the dragons brooded. From the dungeon depths came a small, chilling moan. The king held court, pronouncing judgment as the Tsar and his family clapped and watched in pleasure. The world suddenly froze again, and the Scarecrow Man opened the left gateway to reveal it empty. He smiled wickedly, then opened the right gateway, releasing a sudden burst of tiny pure white doves. So he made the dog disappear, and a bunch of birds came out of the other way. Man and machine were bundled back to the palace with all haste. His repellent, almost demonic appearance was almost immediately forgotten in the wash of this new amusement. A ballroom was cleared, walls raised and rebuilt to admit the massive piece. Items were found, placed, and reborn. Wonders beyond imagination were born from the most base objects. Glittering threads from a stone, a clockwork kitten from an old clock, a wobbling jelly that could not be punctured or torn, no matter how abused, from a simple ceramic jug. The young prince had to be stopped twice, carrying one of the royal cats. I'm guessing to try and change the cat, but I don't know. Things entered through one gate and left the other, and never again could they be returned to their former shape. Still, a canary was sacrificed to the cause, and emerged a peacock in perfect miniature. So like a stone, like a toy peacock instead of the canary anymore? Is that what you mean? The Tsar was delighted beyond words and embraced the reeking, horrid wreck of the device's creator like a brother. Dinners were planned, rooms were made ready, and in the black heart of the bastard Fabergé there stirred the alien feelings of true, honest joy. Well, that's nice, but how is this going to turn into a terrifying thing? Because this is SCP after all. The story is broken up with a line and it goes back up. There's a couple more sections. Okay. It was in the dim of the night that two small forms slipped into the ballroom. Real ballroom or toy ballroom? One in a nightshirt, the other a soft white nightgown. The two forms stole silently through the dark up to the fairy tale castle. Okay, so yeah, in the real ballroom to the castle. The night-shirted figure, the young prince, whispered and pinched, prodding the princess up to the gate of the castle. Oh no. That's what this is. He had whispered wicked things in her ear in the night, and threatened to reveal two unpleasant secrets to their parents if she did not accompany him and do as he said. He was not a truly wicked boy, no more so than any young boy is. The same impulse that made him put a frog in his sister's toy box, chase her about with snakes, and kick her shins at dinner also drove him to see what would happen to her in the castle. The princess pleaded at the gate, begging her brother in a whisper to let her go back to bed. He pushed harder, sneering as he threatened to tell their father the true way his favorite clothes had been ruined. She paled, shivered, and silently went into the gate, tears rolling in cold silence. He pulled shut the gate, his little daemon heart, it's spelled demon, with the D-A-E, daemon heart, dancing with naughty glee. He hopped to the ring, selecting the frog with a barely suppressed giggle. As he turned the key, he settled accounts for many of his sister's tattling, her clever remarks and finger-pointing. As the castle sang and clanked, the prince grew afraid. If someone should wake up, he'd be blamed for sure. He started working up a hazy lie as the figures danced, practicing a half-asleep blink and a story of being woken up just moments before the first to arrive. He was still practicing when the castle stopped, and he opened the other gate. The screaming awoke the Tsar and his wife first, even with their rooms so far from the ballroom. In the way of parents, they seemed to know without question their children were in danger. They passed servants and drowsy footmen, the Tsar a grim-faced ghost in pale robes. He burst into the ballroom, servants quick on his heels, the door cracking the plaster behind it with the force. The young prince was curled a short pace from the castle, sobbing and gibbering, shuddering as if with a great cold. As the Tsar went to his young son, he heard a sound from the castle. He looked, and his son was forgotten. Hell had been born in the fairy wood. A blubbering, writhing mass worked to push through the trees, hard nibs of what looked like teeth scraping as it crawled, oozing pools that might have been eyes, drooled, hissing pus, the bloating, wound-like mouth working in soft horror. The soggy, dripping paws pulled and plucked at the shiny ground, tubes and strings waving along the heaving back. It squealed at the assembled men and women, the tatters of the princess's nightgown still hanging, trapped in the folds of its flesh, the little tiara sunken near the hollow pit of a nose. The servants were dumbstruck, frozen by fear, none even stirring as the Tsar's wife swooned and hit the floor with a heavy thud. The Tsar rose, slowly, too shocked to be afraid, and went to comfort his daughter. The princess took hours to die. Her room was sealed, the doorway plastered over, the body within too twisted and misshapen to bury. The young prince was broken, a mindless shell. His ability to speak decayed over several months. Finally, little more than a shambling ghost, left to stare for hours at windows and walls. The Tsar fared little better. He wandered, staring at his throne at times, as if he had no idea what it was, suddenly prone to fits of sobs or acidic rage. The public was told little to nothing. The servants in attendance that hellish night threatened with death for the merest breath of the truth. The mad Fabergé fared worst of all, besides the princess. He was bundled from his bed by 6 guards, a bag thrown over his head and an armored fist in his belly. He was dumped in a cold cellar and left, bound and gagged, for a full day. Soiled and exhausted, he was drawn up and the bag removed only to face the haggard, manic stare of the Tsar. The mad Fabergé hardly had time to speak, and when the Tsar's fist shattered his already cracked teeth and sent them lacerating into his tongue, it was impossible anyway. He beat him off and on for nearly 2 days. Finally, he had the man's fingerless palms hacked off. His remaining eye gouged out and locked him in the deepest, blackest pit to rot. Oh, gosh. The fairy palace was removed. For all the Tsar's wrath, he could not simply destroy it. The very sight of it overwhelmed him, the mention of it enough to give him shudders and migraines. It was shifted painfully along to a basement in a disused wing of the palace and forgotten. Over time the gilding was peeled, the gems worked free, the statues stolen. Years came and went, the now bare wooden shell slowly warping and splitting with age and season. It was moved, then moved again, finally coming to rest in a vacation home of the royalty, buried alongside other unknown and uncared for treasures. A legend rose around the wooden forest and castle. The great-grandchildren of the now long-dead Tsar scared each other with stories about it, daring each other to slip into the dank, dark storeroom and touch it. An ancient, crumbling butler finally spilled an age-faded copy of the story, and the delicious scandal rolled through the bars and boarding houses for days. However, other concerns took precedence, and during some uprising or another, the summer palace was burned to the foundation. Along with it went many great works of art, and the twisted, warped shell of the wooden palace and forest. As the embers cooled above it, buried deep in the rubble, the ancient charred clockworks lay unnoticed and unknown. A line through the story. And it goes picking up at, the scholar discovered the clockworks in a book. The forgotten diaries of a certain servant left to rot in the university archives, acquired as part of a lot from an estate sale. He never doubted the truth of it, even when he presented his proposal to the derision of the faculty. He pooled his own funds, tapped other resources of varying levels of legality, and set out to find it. After 8 weeks of searching and excavation, the scholar stood, reeking and filthy, over the unearthed sorrow of a czar. 2 more weeks were devoted to the planning of transport. The device was impossible to disassemble, and the scholar would not risk any more damage than the device had already taken. It was lifted whole cloth from the pit, boxed and padded lovingly, and flown back to the scholar's home at a maximum of expense. There 2 rooms were gutted and hollowed out, and the monstrous metal hulk was shifted into place. For weeks the scholar pried and probed at the mass of clockwork, but could divine nothing. Tentative, safe experiments soon gave way to more dramatic and less well-reasoned theories, even as he had a large panel fitted over the long-destroyed one, with much more simple and direct notations on it. His classwork and other research projects suffered and were ignored. He became more and more prone to rambling and outbursts of disjointed theories, always mumbling, "I've almost got it cracked." Well, you're mimicking its creator now, buddy. Others drew away from him, as if he carried a plague they could catch. The scholar ignored his shunning, the letters promising first reprimand and eventually dismissal. Always the next turn of the key would give the last shard of the puzzle, and cement his place in history. ... Always the next one, the next vase, the next dog, the next fabric. ... The next one would finally reveal the pattern, and if not that, then the one after, or the next one, surely. He wasted away, eaten from the inside by first obsession, then rage. He would force the reason from the hulk of metal. It would repay all the pain he had poured out for it, one way or another. The police found him almost by accident. 3 ladies of the evening had vanished over the last week, and 2 patrolmen were making rounds with little hope or interest. The door swung open silently under their knock, the silence inside drawing them in, guns drawn. They found him in the kitchen, hanging from a stout rope. Pinned to his chest was a note. "I have touched the hand of God, and found it the same as the fiend. Hell is all around us. Forgive what I have done." The 2 patrolmen swept the house as they called back for help, expecting little but the boredom and numb regret of any suicide process. Nobody knows what exactly it was that was found in the basement. Only one of the officers came back up, and he never spoke again during his short remaining years. Whatever it was left masses of strange, swooping scars over his face, and left his bones as brittle as glass. The other police who responded said the house was already burning when they arrived, surely the result of an electrical outage, or a stove left on by a distraught suicide victim. The moaning and bubbling wailing that seemed to rock from the base of the fire was without a doubt simply escaping gas or warping metal, Even though they knew there were 2 other police officers? Okay. They didn't know what to make of the mass of charred clockwork once the rubble was cleared. When the men from the government came, they were all too relieved to turn it over to them. It may have been that relief that caused them not to look at the ID cards too long, or follow up the case too closely. The story faded as well, just another tragic fire from a victim of professional stress. And then a line, and it picks up with the last, paragraph here. The Foundation was most pleased, all the more so with the knowledge that they'd swooped the item mere hours ahead of Marshall, Carter, and Dark, whoever the hell those guys are. Now they sit poking and prodding in careful, controlled isolation, musing at this wonder of madness. More and more they learn as they do, the less they understand. And as they do, the less they understand. They slip into confusion and anger, slower. The madness spread evenly over many, ... but they still slip. They push and prod, trying to force meaning on insanity. Trying to derive the secrets of the universe. Universe? Oh my gosh, Raven. This was almost a good end of this. We're going to try and be cool. We're not cool. Okay, try again. Trying to divine the secrets of the universe from a child's toy. The end. I almost landed that all cool but I didn't. I went and messed it up. Darn. But wow, okay. So, yeah. Somehow that kooky Fabergé man, he didn't get his clockwork to make fun things. Sorry. Didn't get it to make fun things because he's a magician, because he could figure that out. But because somehow he got some sort of anomalous property on it, because the daughter had to be sealed into her room to die. What the hell does that mean? And the ladies of the night, I imagine, became monsters through the second guy's attempts, the scholar's attempts. So they weren't dead. And there were things growing out of the princess when they were talking about her, so... okay. But anyway, that's our last story. Yikes. I don't think Frigid is here. But now, after all that, I guess it's time for me to say your trigger word. You're not even here to hear it, but you just had one word. Yuri. Yuri. And you're not here to hear it. I'm sorry, Frigid. Ugh, I messed up. Okay, Yuri. Let me put that away. Oh, I should have hit... oh my gosh, I'm a dum-dum. I should have hit refund instead of... oh my gosh, I'm too tired. I blame that. Now I have humming and rage puffing left. So I'm going to do a quick rage puff and then hum. I don't think I'm going to last a full minute like I usually do with my rage puffs. I try to make them last a minute so that you guys get to hear all the nonsense, but I've got very little energy for this. It's been a day. Okay, here we go. Rage puff, rage puff. I am also falling asleep though. Yeah, it's a slow little night in our stream. It is. Okay, rage puffin' time. Here we go. But I can't. I'm officially out. I'm out. I'm out of energy. It's just done, okay? It's done. And then we've got humming. And if anybody else is here, there's only 7 of us hanging out. If anybody else, what have we done? Would have done a redeem. Maybe let me know, but honestly, the rate this is going, I think we need to like hum and raid out and be done. That's how I feel. I don't know. Tell me if you disagree. But here we go with humming at least. Of course you do, Fet. Thank you very much. Alright. Thank you, D-Vod, for the hydrating stretch and stuff. Very important. I was forgetting to hydrate, so thank you. I'll do one more song. Here we go. I think Fat, give me multiple choice, and then I pick option. You should line them up, pick them in your head. Who is A, B, C, D, however many. I pick C. A, B, C. Well, that's nightly. I guess we're going to nightly. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. I said I'd go to nightly. Someone popped up and I'm like, but I said I'd go to nightly. Jeez. Okay. Let's copy the Cozy Frau Grade message. If it'll let me. Okay. Last time it was being me. There you are, 90. Okay. I'm gonna start our raid in there. Always good to check in there. But alright. Okay. Oh, I'm so eepy. Who else is eepy? I'm very eepy. I think I will wrap up for bed. Okay, we're gonna stream tomorrow. Same lineup essentially as we've done. And so it'll be WP Cancelas in the first stream, and then some SCPs in the second. And then I'll be gone for the rest of the week. I know it's unfortunate, but I'll be back again on Sunday as far as I know. Alright, let's go. Let's raid. Have a good night. Eat well. Wait, oop.